is back with her top 3 weight loss strategies. And if we do these things, Melissa, are we going to lose weight?
You will lose weight. You will look amazing. You will feel great.
Okay, so eat high water foods. What do you mean by that?
Yes. So this was the main message in my first book, The Hershberg Diet, and I stand by it. I really think that this is one of the most important things that you can do when you're trying to eat for health and weight loss.
Okay.
So what I mean is eating foods that are high in water content, foods that fill you up for the fewest number of calories. So when I say that, it often confuses people, like what's a high water food? So if you think of the difference between a grape and a raisin, a grape, it's the same food, but the grape has the water content and the raisin's been dehydrated. So fruits and veggies are very high in water. If you think of spinach, we don't think of it as being wet, but if you put it in a pot, turn on the heat, it shrinks down to nothing because it's all water. So fruits, veggies, lean proteins like fish, turkey. If you think of the difference between beef and beef jerky, again, we see those are high water foods. Yogurt, egg whites, and then even some starches, pasta, rice. These can be a really good addition to a healthy diet.
Okay, let's talk about rice and pasta.
Yes.
Ah.
It's my pet peeve that people are so scared of starch. I feel like it's gotten such a bad rap and people avoid it and they don't eat any and then they just binge later on crackers or chips. So you're better off having a right portion of pasta or rice. Sure, you can go with a brown rice or you can go with a whole wheat pasta, but even if you go with the white variety, as long as you eat the right portion, half a cup to a cup, you're good.
Well, we talked about this many times at the show. We have a bowl of pasta. That's a lot of pasta. So you're just saying 1 cup.
Yeah, one cup, a small bowl. So if you went to a restaurant that, actually, if you go to Italy, that's how they serve their pasta as the first dish, just a small portion.
Yeah, it's so good when you do that. You can share it with your girlfriends, and then you don't feel guilty. Portion control. Portion control, we talked about that time and time again, but it doesn't matter if the food is a good food, it's still about portion control.
Exactly. And this is a mistake I see people make so often. They think, well, I'm eating so healthy. I'm eating, quinoa and lentils, and I'm eating smoothies and nuts and seeds, but they're overeating it. So a calorie is still a calorie and portions matter. So I think a good thing to do is get familiar with what 100 calories looks like of the different foods you eat. And you'll sort of say, oh, that's it? Another good thing to do is look at some of the frozen entrees they sell in supermarkets and flip them around and look at the calorie. And then you get an idea like, oh, I only get that much for 300 days. So it's just a good way to be honest with yourself. The portions and calories do, unfortunately, matter.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. And the other thing, too, is know when you're full.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we just go, okay, I'm going to have a whole bunch of quinoa. And even if you just train yourself to have just a cup, then you've trained yourself.
Exactly. So you should never, I really don't think you should ever feel full. You should never feel, I think you finish eating when you're 75% full.
Yeah.
You should never feel like, oh, I got to undo my
never
pants.
feel stuffed.
Yeah.
Think about how you feel Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no.
You should never feel like that. Although once a year, I think it's
Once a year is fine.
Yeah, it's okay. Keep track of what you're eating. All right, so there's a couple of things you want to say about that. Yeah.
Right. So studies have shown time and time again that people are more successful on weight loss plans when they keep a journal or a diary. So I'm not saying you have to do this forever. That would be so tedious. But at least maybe for the first few weeks or the first month of adopting a new weight loss plan, write it down. It forces you to be brutally honest, and it forces you to look back and say, okay, why was this week successful? Oh, well, because I ate this, this, and this. Versus, why did I not lose weight this week? And you say, well, okay, so I had a few extra handfuls.
It helps with your perception of what you're doing.
Of what you're doing and what you're eating.
Yeah.
Plus, it's so tedious to write it down that sometimes you think, oh, do I even want to eat that? Because I got to write it down later.
That's right. That's right.
And a good thing to do if it is tedious, people have camera phones now. Take a picture of what you're eating during the day, and you can log it at the end of the day. So that's helpful too.
Do you, like a lot of people are using apps too, where they say, hey, you've gone overboard.
Yeah, My Diary, My Fitness Pal.
Yeah. No more food. Yeah, it's My Fitness Pal is one of them.
And My Diary is another. There's lots of them. I mean, I don't.
Which one do you like?
I tend to use My Diary with patients who see me in practice. I just think it's easy. It's free. And it has a lot of foods listed on there, and it's just a good thing to use. But the old, pen and paper is fine too. If you want to carry around a little journal.
What is the average amount of calories that you should take in per day if you want to lose weight? It varies. I know men get to have more. Okay, we already know that one.
Yeah, it does vary. But I would say a good rule of thumb to start is about 1,500 calories a day is where you should be at. If you're really active, you can probably have a little more.
Sure.
If you don't exercise much and you're female, sometimes it's even a little less.
A little less than that. And you must eat first thing in the morning, get up and get that metabolism going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any hard and fast rules. If you hate breakfast and makes you nauseous, you can still lose weight without having it. But I do think it's a good idea to fuel your body and have a breakfast first thing.
Okay, thank you for all that great information.
My
It's
pleasure.
good stuff. All right, look at her. You want to look like her?
Thank you.
That's That's all you need to know. We have to take a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.